This next video of our Azure networking series. In this video, I'm going to talk about Azure user-defined routes along with the route table. As usual, we are going to discuss the basics of routing quickly, and then we will discuss the architecture diagram, which I'm going to use for this demonstration. So let's begin, guys. First of all, what are the routes? So basically, in plain simple networking, routes provide you the path for your network traffic to move from point A to point B. Basically, they decide how this traffic is going to move from one machine to other machine, right? So in Azure networking, they serve the same purpose. So basically, when you have any network traffic in Azure, it automatically routed across Azure subnets, virtual networks, as well as on-premise networks. So it happens with the help of system routes, which are assigned by default to each subnet in a VNet. If you look at it, this is one single virtual network, and we have got two different subnets. So by default, system routes are assigned to these subnets, and they have got those default routing enabled. Any Azure virtual machine which is deployed to these VNets can communicate with each other or with all other Azure VMs in the same virtual network in all the subnets. And it happens with the help of system routes. You cannot create or delete system route. It is taken care by Azure platform automatically. But you can override the system routes by adding custom user defined routes so that you can control the flow of this traffic. And why it's possible? Because routes in Azure has certain priority, and the highest priority has been given or has been assigned to user defined routes, or UDR in short. Then we have BGP, that is your border gateway protocol routes, and then finally the priority goes to system routes. So therefore it is possible to override the routing feature or the functionality of system route by defining these two different types of routes. In this video we're going to talk about user defined route. So to demonstrate the capabilities of Azure defined routes, I have already kept few things ready for this demonstration. So we have a virtual network, and in that VNet I have created three different subnets. Those subnets are public subnet, private subnet, and the DMZ subnet. And I have placed each subnet I have placed one virtual machine. My public subnet has a public VM which has got a public IP as well as a private IP. Then I have one virtual machine. On all these machines are Windows Server 2016. In the private subnet, I have a virtual machine without a public IP. It has got only private IP. And in the DMZ subnet, I have got another Windows 2016 machine which would be acting as an NV, that is your network virtual appliance. And that network virtual appliance is a specialized is a device which can perform any specialized networking task, such as a firewall. It can act as a proxy server, or maybe it can be a device to capture all the traffic going out of your network. I would also be showing how you can configure this Windows 2016 server as a router or as an NVA. We'll do a little configuration in the demonstration itself, right? So also, before we jump into the portal, one thing we need to remember, that it is recommended that your NV or the network virtual appliance is to be deployed in a separate subnet rather than the subnet in which your virtual machines are there, whose traffic it is going to be routing, right? So it should be in a different subnet. If it is part of the same subnet, then it can cause routing loops, right? So let's jump into the portal and configure the user defined routes. Configuring our resources to have this demonstration of Azure user defined routes along with route tables. So if you look at it, I have got three different virtual machines. One is NV VM. This is which VM which we're going to configure as a virtual appliance. And then other than that, we have got a private VM and the public VM. Public VM has got a public IP, and other than that, both of the machine has got a private IP only. Now, if you go to virtual network, so we have got virtual networks ready. This is our virtual network for this demonstration. It's taking a bit of time. So UDR VNet is the network. and I have got 3 different subnets configured. You can see 1, 2, 3. These are the subnets we have: public subnet, private subnet, and DMZ subnet. Now we'll quickly create a route table, or before that I would like to show you the topology of this machine, what we currently have. So if you look at it, this is the current setup we have. Select the VNet and this will generate our subnet. If you look at it, we have got this VNet and we have got 3 different subnets, and we have got 1 virtual machine in each subnet. So now we'll create a resource, and before with that, let's log into the machine and see what's the current status is. If I open the command prompt, this is my public VM. If you look at it here, and if I do a trace through to my private VM, you can see it is the next hop, or the next machine where it is landing is the private VM, that is 10.0.2.4. So currently traffic is flowing without any custom defined routes, with the help of a system or the default routes, and they can talk to each other. Similarly, if you go to my private VM, that is 10.0.2.4, I have already logged in then to save some time. Open the command prompt. If you do the host name here, it is my private VM. If I do a trace RT here and to my public VM, you can see it's communicating directly to the public VM because of the help of system or the default routes. I have already added a rule to allow ping, or for the ICMP4, so that they can ping each other and do this complete this trace. We have, because by default it is not allowed on the Windows 2016 servers. So now let's go back to our Azure portal and start configuring our routing. And before we do that, let's minimize this one, and as I promised that I would be showing you how to configure that Windows virtual machine as a server, so we'll do that. So open the registry edit. I'm just making sure that it can act as a router. Let's go to HK local machine, then your system. Under system you'll have current control set, and then services, and here you need to find TCP IP. So here it is, TCP IP, under which you need to find parameters, and then you'll find a value called IP enable router. Double click it. It would be having a value of 0, convert it to 1, and click OK and restart this machine. It would require a restart. Now in the meantime it gets restarted, we will go back and do our remaining task on the portal, because we have to configure certain tasks in the portal also. Now what we'll do is, we'll go to home, click on virtual machine, and take our NVVM, right? And if I look at the networking, this is the networking interface. I'll click on this one, go to IP configurations, and I need to enable the IP forwarding here. So click enabled and save the configuration. So now the configuration is being saved. In the meantime, now we need to create a route table. So click on route table. So again, route table would be treated as a resource in the Azure. So I'm going to create a route table resource here. Select the resource groups. This is my resource group. Select the location. This is my location, and give it a name. I'll call it, let's call it UDR table 1. Okay, and I want to propagate the gateway routes. Click on tags. Although it's a good practice to use tags, but I'm skipping it for this, make this video as short as possible. It's going to take some time, and once it is done with the validation, then we would be able to create it. So let's say I can click on create. So it's done. Let's click on go to resource. Currently does not have any routes, it's only the blank table. Click on routes and add some routes. Click on add. Give this route a name. I want to call it, let's say, public to private route. or say private subnet. Now you need to specify the address prefix. This is the basically address range for the target machines or the target subnet. So from where you can get it, click on here, go to your, sorry, not here, go to your virtual networks, find your target subnet. My target subnet in this case is private subnet. So if you look at it here, this is the private subnet range. I'm just going to copy it. I'll go back, I'll put it here. Okay. Now you need to select what would be the next hop type where the traffic should land. So in this case, because I have already configured a virtual appliance, so virtual appliance would be the next hop type. Now it is asking to provide the IP address of this virtual appliance. So let's go back and find out the IP. It was my NVA VM. Here it is, and the IP address was 10.0.3.4. Let's copy paste this one and put it here. Okay, so we got our route ready. So it would be public to private subnet. This is the address prefix for the target subnet, and this is my hop type, and this is my hop address. So click on OK. It's going to take some time, and it will add the route into the routing table. So you can see the route has already been successfully added to this route table. Now we need to add this route table or associate this route table to a subnet. So click on associate, select your virtual network, find your subnet. So this is going to be my public subnet, and click on OK. So what I'm asking you to do that whatever traffic is being generated by the virtual machine which is residing in public subnet, they should be governed with the routes which is part of this route table. So let's again go and have a look how my topology looks like now. So click on here, select your resource group, select your virtual network. You will see two different things added. You can see now to my public subnet, this route table and the route has already been added. You can see that it's an additional one. It's an addition once we associated the table with this subnet, so it started showing the topology also. Now whatever traffic goes out of this subnet, it would be governed by this route table. So hopefully my virtual machine should be up by now because we restarted it. Yes, it is. So let's go back to the and see how it goes now. Let's open the command prompt. This is my public VM, I believe. This is my public VM. If I do a trace RT to private VM now, see now the first hop is the my NVA VM. You can see that 10.0.3.4, and then it's going to the 10.0.2.4. Now let's see what's the condition with the private VM, because we have not added anything here. So let's do and see what happens here. It will not go through the NVA. It will directly can communicate with the subnet because there is no routing table attached to it, right? So that's it, guys. That's how your UDR or route table works. Let's go back to our PPT once again and see what we have just done. So this was the condition where where we started. Then we added this routing table to this public subnet, and once that routing table has been added, you can see the traffic which was supposed to go from this virtual machine to this VM directly, because there was a route associated. So it looked okay, this is the traffic which is meant for this target, and it is supposed to go to this hop first. So the traffic was routed to this NVA, and from NVA it was forwarded to the private VM. So that's how your route table can modify the route or path of your network traffic. So that's it, guys. That's what all about user defined routes. Thanks for watching.